This is another exciting one, and it's about business, entrepreneurship, venture, right? And of course, it's important we all understand some of the basic principles underlying the starting of business, how to manage it, and all that, right? I call this venturepreneurship. So grab your pen and paper and write venturepreneurship. Venturepreneurship is a simple concept. It is a combination of two words, and these are venture and entrepreneurship. Venturepreneurship is about an entrepreneur who is developing a high risk and high return business or venture around a product, a very new product or service. And I take this again. Venturepreneurship is about an entrepreneur who is developing a high risk and high return business or venture around a product which is very new or service which is new to the market, right? You know, all businesses, regardless of size, goes through phases of growth and development. And at every stage of the business growth, there are risks you would encounter. So I have summarized this into 5 risks you encounter at every stage or phase of your business development. It doesn't matter what kind of business you are into. If you are selling ice water, you are into momo business, or you are into mining, banking, etc. Once you are starting a business, or once you have started a business, the business will go through the same phases of growth and development. So let's look at this. Just grab your pen and paper and do this with me. Draw your y-axis and then also sketch your x-axis. Now label this as revenue and label this as time. So this will strike the relationship between revenue over time and the phases of business growth and development, and we'll try and understand the 5 main risks you encounter as your business grows. So it all starts from this point. Just draw this and then come up like that. Good. So this represents the phases of business growth or development. This is known as, label this as the gestation phase. Label this as the inception phase. This is the prototype phase. This is known as rollout. This is rapid growth. This is the rapid growth phase of your business. Then you have expansion, and then the business reaches maturity. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 phases of business growth and development. If you start any business, you know, the business would actually start with the gestation phase. This is the point where you are actually developing the concept and then the ideas. You are gathering ideas around the business you want to start. So between the gestation period or the gestation and then inception phase, you are developing the concept and gathering ideas from people and all that, reading from books and all. Then of course, prototype. The business starts small and then you roll it out and it hits rapid growth. You know, it is at this point that the business is actually taking, moving up positively. So as I indicated, every stage of this business growth will have peculiar risk that you are supposed to manage. So as a business person or as a young man preparing to enter business, it is important to understand the various risks you are likely to encounter, and you decide on the mitigation factors or measures that you will design and put in place such that your business doesn't collapse or die. So let's look at the 5 main risks you encounter at every stage of the business. The first risk you encounter is known as the technology and production risk. Technology and production risk. Then there is also marketability and competing risk. There is also growth risk. The fourth one is technology and production risk, marketability and competing risk, growth risk, financial risk, and finally we have the management and people risk. These are the 5 top risks you encounter at every stage of your business growth and development. And as a business person, it is important to conduct this risk assessment and then decide on the controls you put in place to sustain the business. And it is critical because it also informs your source of funding. You'd realize that normally when people are starting business, they don't start the business and then they quickly go in for loans from bank. Because if you consider, for instance, between the gestation period and say the rollout period, the source of funding normally is from the founders, and sometimes friends will contribute. You may also fall on angel financing, right? So depending on the growth level, the outcome of your risk assessment, you decide on your source of funding. This is just to give you a brief on venturepreneurship. In subsequent videos, I would go deeper and explain what I mean by technology and production risk, marketability and competing risk, growth risk, financial risk, and management and people risk. It is critical you understand this. You don't just jump into business. You must understand the deep fundamental principles and position yourself strategically. I'm sure this helps. Consider this, think about it. In my next video, I would go deeper and then explain the controls that can be designed to mitigate these risks that I have mentioned. So have a nice day. Thank you for listening.